Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower Daily Chat. I'm Mark, and I'm here with my good friend, Katie Michels. How are you, Katie?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good, so good to have you here. So,
Thanks for having me.
the fun thing about this is that, folks who may not know who you are from the Dungeon Run, for one thing,
True.
and you've been on several episodes of Game the Game with Becca Scott.
I
So,
have.
you are a gamer for sure. And
Oh,
now,
Becca Scott.
I'm a little jealous because
Oh.
you've been on more episodes than I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, how many you said you've been on?
Only three.
Three?
And you did like
Only,
seven.
only three.
Only three.
Three is a lot. What games did you do?
So we did Moonrakers, which is one of my favorite deck builders now.
Oh
It's
yeah. I
so
still haven't
good.
played that.
Yeah, it's so good. So we did that, and we did what was the? Oh yeah, we did Elements, which is this amazing abstract game.
I haven't played that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
There's
get.
so many games.
I know. I'm gonna have to get you a copy of Elements because
Okay.
I know a guy. And I
You
can't.
have,
I
you have
can't.
a hookup?
Yeah, I do. I do. I can't think of the third game. What it was now. Anyway, it was a battle card game of some sort, and Becca and I were definitely back and forth with it.
Oh, Becca is so competitive.
Yeah, she's like one game up on me now. We got to fix
Oh
this.
no. Yeah, re- resurrect that? Not
Yeah,
resurrect it. Fix
I'm gonna
that.
have to fix that.
I was
for sure.
trying to say retcon that, but that's not
That's
that's not
quite
the right,
it, right?
use of that word.
Okay, so if for those who don't know, you play Lily Doublestuck on the Dungeon Run, which is one of my all-time now favorite D&D shows ever. Right?
Yeah.
So
Me too.
it's an amazing show. For folks, if you haven't seen it, you have to check out the Dungeon Run. It's so good. So, but not only that, but you're an amazing actress. I mean, you've been on some of my daughter's favorite shows,
Oh.
like the Librarians. I mean,
That's one that a lot of people haven't heard of.
yeah, I know.
I'm impressed.
She was blown away when she found out. She's like, "What?"
That was a really fun set to be on. Too.
I bet
Really
it looks
nice.
like it,
And-
right?
Well, it was a summer camp episode too, and it was very. I don't know. I was the camp counselor, so everyone yeah, it was very fun. I mean,
Right.
honestly, if you watch that role, it's very much Lily.
Oh, I have to go back and watch now. That's awesome. So, tell me a little bit about your background in gaming in general.
Yeah, it's so funny because I think I've said this on, I don't know if I said this to you before, but I actually grew up in a family that did not play games.
Oh, sad.
We had one, I know, we played Monopoly, but my
Oh,
dad
yeah.
was like, he would like make his own rules and then like make all these like bargaining.
Oh yeah.
He was like trying to make Monopoly like Risk, like alliance. It's like, I'm not going to charge you this time. Just go. You can go for free. And then he'd like charge you double. And like it was so frustrating to play with him as a kid because he would just decimate us. with
That's
these
amazing.
games. In hindsight, it's very funny.
Yeah, I
at the
like
time,
it.
was
That's
very
really
fun.
good.
Yeah, we had the farming game. The farming game is this. You can look it up. It's based on the tough times of living on a farm. And it's kind of like life meets Monopoly meets
Right.
Eastern Washington.
Man, I haven't. Man, that's an old game though, right? I mean,
I know. I actually, we had like an original copy of it, and no one in my
What?
family knows where it is.
Oh no.
I know, and like that just shows you how much we're not a game family. I was like, I don't know.
I don't know what happened
That
to
was
it.
such a cool copy.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like I grew up only playing those games occasionally, and that's pretty much it.
Wow.
But then I married a man.
Yes. Who's a gamer?
Who's a huge gamer.
Yes.
And so over time, and he actually became more of a gamer after we moved to LA because he started working at Geek and Sundry.
Yes.
And yeah, and over time we just both kind of fell in love with.
Yeah.
There's so many cool games. It is the golden age of games right now, though, I will
right.
say too. So
I mean,
I think a lot of people probably didn't grow up with this many games.
right. And it was. I mean, I got to work with Jake a few times,
Yeah.
right? So he's
Game the game.
game the game. So that was pretty awesome. And I got to be on the podcast before Victory Points went away. So that was pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
I had a blast. It was so fun. That whole week with Becca, filmed her show. She did my show. I did the podcast. It was great. So
yeah.
the best time.
That's a really solid week.
Yeah, it was. It was
What
awesome.
are some of your favorite board games? I kind of gave you like is that enough history? The history basically
little
is
bit.
I didn't play games for most of my
For
life.
most of your life. Well,
and then in the last, like, I would say in the last 5 years, been ramping up. But really in the last, I don't know, 3 years, have gotten into more complex strategy.
Because I know you and I have talked about Lords of Waterdeep. I know you've played that.
I love Lords of Waterdeep.
Yes. Yeah. And you did that on Game the Game, right?
I did that. It's true.
And you played Horrified. And you did Pandemic, the deluxe version of it, right?
The game we're all living.
Yep.
And then Lords and Ladies.
Lords and Ladies, that's right. Yep. I saw that.
And Chameleon.
Chameleon
was my least favorite game in the game ever because I defied all odds and was the chameleon.
Right.
Spoiler alert if you go watch that episode, but I was literally the chameleon of 10 rounds 7 times.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it got to the point where everyone's like, okay, Katie's the chameleon. Like, I couldn't even bluff anymore because all my strategies for bluffing had gone out the window.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
That's awesome. So chat is actually wondering some of what you just asked me about. What are a couple of your favorite games? So for me, I love big thematic story-driven games. So Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition is still one of my all-time favorite games by far. Star Wars Rebellion, I love that game. What else? Xia, Legends of the Drift System. Love that game. I haven't
played that.
Oh, I think you'd like, because it's a big sandboxy game. You can be a pirate for a while, or you can go mine for ore on a moon, or shuttle people from planet to planet, all to get points. So,
amazing.
And you can attack your fellow players.
Deck builder, or is it a
no, you're building your ship. It's got a ton of different things to it. So you have a ship, and you're trying to upgrade your ship, get money and resources, and so forth. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll send you some links.
Yeah, send me the link.
What about you though? What are a couple of your favorite or top 5 maybe?
Sure. I feel like it always changes month to month, but right now the quarantine game has been Clank.
Oh yes,
I'm obsessed with that game.
Clank Legacy or just Clank?
With the expansion.
Okay, yeah.
Have you played the expansion?
Oh, I've played all the Clanks. Yes.
I really like the underwater one.
Underwater one's great.
It's really fun because that adds a really complicated element.
Yeah.
I feel like it is a game, I will say, once you've played it enough, with 2 people, where you can truly clear out that dungeon.
Yes.
And so the underwater element really adds a difficulty to it.
No doubt.
Yeah. I've never played it with 4 people, and I think that would be a totally different game.
It is a totally different game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is so fun because then it becomes a bit of a race as well.
Yeah.
Right. So, which is really cool.
With 2 people, it's just you're how much can I feel so
you can keep going, right?
Yeah.
How about Clank in Space? Did you do that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
And then that one yet.
Clank Legacy. That's the one you really need to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the ones we played is, regular Clank, and then the underwater, and then the mummy one. I don't know what it's called.
I can't think of the name of that either. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy now.
It's like pyramids.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoot, I can't remember.
Yep.
It's down the hall. That's a game that I've really been enjoying. I like the length of that game too.
Yes.
I feel like it's long enough, and I really like deck builder games.
Yeah, me too. So Moonrakers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you. I'll get you a copy.
I'm very excited. I wonder if we have Moonrakers.
Well, you probably do because Jake probably got a copy, or is going to get one.
Our game closet's out of control.
Yes.
I love Lords of Waterdeep. That will always probably be on my top.
Okay.
My top games. I really enjoy that game, and that game is really fun with 2 people, and really fun with lots of people.
Yeah.
What's that you can play with 7 or 6?
Yeah, with the expansions,
with
right?
the expansion, you can play with 7.
7, I think. Yeah.
Which is really fun. Very long.
Yeah.
But fun. And then we've been playing. Actually, we're playing a really simple game called Point Salad.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, right?
It's super fun, and it's just like an easy appetizer game.
It really is. Yeah. It totally is that, and
it's pretty well balanced. And
they did a really good job with it, and it's true to its name as well.
Yeah. So that's a lighter one. So what have I said? Clank.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Point Salad.
Point Salad.
I'm trying to cover some
different.
Oh, Paladins. Have you played
Oh,
Paladins?
I have not. I have not played Paladins. I know what it is, but I have not played it.
Okay, I've played it now five times,
Okay.
and I feel like I'm just finally being like, I think I understand what I'm supposed to do.
Nice.
It's not that you don't understand. It's just so many moving pieces, but it's fun. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Okay, You got one more. You gotta give me one more.
And then actually a fun one. I used to love Dominion.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a billion expansions of Dominion, but just recently discovered that have you ever played Dominion Online?
Oh yes, absolutely.
And it's like $5 or something like that, and then you can play with friends. And we have some friends in New York that love Dominion.
Yeah.
And I will say that online Dominion is superior in my mind because you don't have to do all of the
setup. Or setup. You don't have to pull out all the different cards for the different expansions. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And it's a lot. Like that was like the reason why we wouldn't play Dominion before. Is we're like, I don't want to take all the cards.
A billion expansions, right?
So many.
Have you played Ascension then? Oh man! So I just did a preview for Ascension Tactics. Ascension is another deck builder, but Ascension Tactics incorporates 3D miniatures, like a strategic 3D battle game with a deck builder. But instead of like having champions and stuff in your hand, all the cards you have in your hand go to support the champions that are out in the field of battle. And there's all kinds of scenarios and missions and different objectives that you have to do. And you're battling it out. It's really cool. And then you can augment your champions by sliding constructs under them to give them more pluses to their armor and health and so forth.
Oh.
So, yeah, you should check it out. I'll send you a link to that too.
Okay. There's so many games. It's crazy.
Right.
We played Abyss.
Yes, I love Abyss.
That's pretty fun.
The artwork is amazing.
The artwork is gorgeous.
Yeah, just fantastic. And they had like 4 different box covers.
Oh, really?
Of Abyss, yeah. It was pretty. I thought I was wondering at the time when they were doing that are we going to see a bunch of like collectible boxes? It didn't really pan out.
Didn't happen.
They were definitely going for that though. It was hard to pick because they were all so cool. So
yeah, the art is really, really, really pretty. I like that game. That's a game I feel like I play once and then I like put it away for a little bit and then I want to play it again. Like I want to give a little time in between.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what makes that happen with certain games versus other ones.
So Amanda Panda asks, "What's your favorite mechanism in a game? Is it deck building or is it like worker placement or?"
Well, those are I think I really like deck builders.
Okay.
Yeah, I like. Waterdeep is a worker placement.
Yes.
One.
Yep.
And I love that game, but yeah, I think my heart is with deck builders because Dominion was probably the first like bigger game that I learned to play that I really liked, and
I love deck builders. I know there's some folks that are,
and then Clank is
one of my favorite deck builders by far.
I'm obsessed with Clank.
Yeah.
I feel like I would play it every night.
We'll have to find a way. Have you used like Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator?
No. I feel like I did a tabletop. No, I don't think I did.
We should look into playing some stuff.
I think it was just a camera we tried playing with friends.
Yeah, that's very different.
We just played a game with some friends over that you can play kind of because you're on your own board, and I can't. Yeah. Our friend Eric actually sent us these like scorecards in the mail so we could play for this
That's
game
amazing.
From Alaska. I know, it's amazing.
I love it.
And I can't remember what it was called. It was really fun. It was really, really fun.
That's cool.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to text Jake.
Yeah, find out. So
game.
This is a great question because it'll lead into some Dungeon Run stuff here. So
okay.
All right. So, folks, if you don't know the Dungeon Run, Katie plays Lily Dumblestuck and is just amazing character, adds so much depth and heart to the team in that D&D world. It's just so fun. And the thing about it is that you weren't really a big D&D player, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But we have a question from John Paul about what is Lily's favorite board game, or is that spoiler material?
Lily's favorite board game?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love this question. I think it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. I feel like Lily plays like bar games.
I think you're probably right.
I'm trying to
be
think
like
a board,
like Liar's Dice, maybe.
Yeah. I also feel like Lily would have like a family that plays cribbage.
Oh, totally. 100%.
Don't you think?
Yes.
That feels like a beach town.
It does. That totally is a thing.
Board game.
I think that's probably true. Trying to think what else. Crokinole? Have you played Crokinole?
Oh, I've never played Crokinole.
Oh man, it's on this.
I love the name of it.
Yeah, it's a big round board that's wood, beautiful wood usually, and you have these little discs. You're flicking them towards the center. It's a little bit of a dexterity game, and you knock people out of the way and so forth. I feel like that would be a Lily game for sure.
That would be a Lily game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beach Scrabble.
Yeah, beach Scrabble. You're doing it in the sand.
I feel like she's gonna have like more like classic game.
True.
You know?
I would agree with that. I think that's really good. So, but as far as D&D goes, though, right? This is kind of your first
long campaign.
Long campaign. You hadn't really done a lot of D&D, right?
No, I hadn't. I played with friends like on one-off, one-shot campaigns mainly. So I think I had only played twice before the dungeon run on one-shot campaigns. And then when I was in high school, I had a group of friends where we would like make D&D characters. Like we did this twice, but no one was a DM and no one knew how to play. Right. We were just like, I'm an elf, and these are these. Look at these cool things, and we just would talk. We talked about it. It was like we were nerdy theater kids.
That's amazing.
Like, you know, we drank lukewarm Mountain Dew and talked about D&D.
Well, creating characters is part of the fun, right? I mean, I love that so much. And I've been playing D&D really a long time. So
I'm in a weird part right now with creating characters where I get a lot of anxiety doing it because I've had to create a couple and I feel like overwhelmed a little bit because I think I know enough now to like know there is a way to like optimize things. And
yes.
Like, choose spells that complement each other, or, class that complements this or whatever. And so now I'm like, I feel like I don't know enough to make like the best choice. Which is kind of
that's got to be interesting too because you just went to level 8, right, in the campaign. So now you probably have tons of stuff that you can potentially tap into. That had to be fun.
Leveling up is a day
or
a week in our house. I'm just like, Jake's played for a long time. I'm like, what about this? What if I did? He's like, there is no wrong answer. Like that's the beauty of D&D. And then I get so frustrated with him. I'm like, but just tell me if this is the right choice. He's like, that doesn't exist.
I love it so much. That's amazing.
He's like, if you think it's cool, then do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love too because of the way you came into D&D and how you're playing now. I love that you have all these amazing ideas that nobody else thinks of, and it's just fantastic storytelling even on just your own. It's just really fun. And I mean, you create like songs on the fly, and I mean, it's just so in tune with your character, which is really fun. So
yeah.
And I know all of you are really great improv actors, but the thing is that you still have to be mindful of the gameplay, right? So that's what's cool. Yeah. And I did a game with Ivan for Altered Carbon. I flew out
amazing!
Yeah, so that was really fun. And he was DM'd it for us, right?
Ivan is so talented.
He is. It was so great. I was so blown away. He invited me out. It was just so fun. But the thing about that system was that we learned it on the fly.
Oh, that's
as
cool.
we were playing, and it really actually worked pretty well. But you do find yourself popping in and out of the story to do that, So how much of that do you find when you play still that you're popping in and out of the story just so you get an idea of the mechanics of what you need to do?
Less so now. It's so funny because I the other day I was telling someone, and Jake was there. I was like, well, I'm still really new to D&D. He's like, you can no longer say that.
Yeah.
Because hour by hour, you're more experienced than a lot of people at D&D. You play for 4 hours a week, so you can no longer say that you're like...
You're very... Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, that's fair. I shouldn't say that. So less, but I would say the first 10 episodes of Dungeon Run, Jared always laughs at me because he has like this view of me across the table, and like anytime Jeff, I mean, you could go watch it. Anytime he's like, okay, why don't you roll me a Constitution check? You can like see my body
like
tense, and I'm like,
yeah,
I
sure.
have to like find it on the sheet, and everyone seems to like know exactly
where
it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I loved that actually. I thought that was so because we've been on a couple different things, and like that first couple weeks of you guys doing the show, I got like Ron and you and Jessica came on, and it was so fun.
Oh, yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, I love to watch just how, and like even you all just meshing as a team has just evolved so much over the gameplay, and obviously playing from home now is very different than playing in the studio. But it's working really well. I feel like the show still works just as well. So
I think so too. I mean, Jeff is such a good storyteller that he really keeps that weave going. Everyone on the show is such a good storyteller, but we're lucky that we were able to play together in person for so long, so we had that chemistry, and that's what makes it work, I think, temporarily online, is that we know each other. I
would agree. Oh, Chrono reminded me. Thank you. Chrono 64 Rune Lords is the other game I played with Becca.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I haven't played that either.
Yeah. It was a Kickstarter game, and they haven't gone back to Kickstarter yet.
Right.
But
I think I remember. So many of these games have come through my house.
Yes.
Because Jake writes all of the.
Yes, he writes all this how to play
script.
stuff, right? Yeah.
So there's like some of them we have, and some of them went back. I don't know.
Yeah. I literally have prototypes floor to ceiling in my basement.
That's amazing. I saw someone asked about a bag builder game.
Yeah.
Someone said what about bag builders, and I will say that my favorite bag builder game that I've played is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Oh yes, did you like that?
I love that game.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I enjoyed it as well.
I really enjoyed it.
Kabuki Kid is asking, what pencil and paper RPGs do you play? What was the first one you ever played, and what version? So, like, was there anything before D&D that you did, RPG related?
Not really. I mean, not really. It was other. I mean, like murder mystery parties, but
sure,
which is an RPG if you think about it.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
But no, not really. I was a theater kid, so much of this, like the role play part. It's just like was me hanging out with my friends on the weekend. Like we were like, let's talk about this weird scenario.
I love it. Yeah.
So that's the part that I'm very like. I do feel I'm not experienced as far as like hadn't played D&D, but I felt very comfortable with that part. However, the rules part is what really intimidated me when I started. The thing I feel like, kind of going back to your question about like being the newer one and taking it out of gameplay. I think the thing that it's not like I know there's so many intricacies to D&D.
Right.
But
absolutely.
what I think I feel more comfortable with, what I know I feel more comfortable with now, is that I can ask questions, and like there really isn't stupid questions.
No, not at all.
Because even super experienced people.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? You froze, or did I freeze? Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, there you're back. There you are.
I don't know when I stopped talking. That was so weird. But, hi.
Hi. That was just a momentary blip in the radar. There was some sort of UFO question. Maybe that was related to.
Oh, yeah, that was it. I got briefly abducted.
But yeah,
what did you hear of what I just said? I just monologued. You
were talking about how the RPG came naturally because of your the role playing and so forth. I guess
my biggest thing with being comfortable now is I still have lots to learn as far as rules, all that stuff, but being able to ask the questions and knowing that that's fine.
Yeah.
And like it's not asking like questions isn't annoying necessarily. It's fair. Also because so much of it is the DM's call.
Right. Yep.
And that is going to change game to game. But I think when I first went into Dungeon Run, I was like, I can't ask any questions because I'm going to look like an idiot. And
I love it.
I don't know what everyone. I feel like I somehow got here and I don't belong here.
I love it.
But then, I mean, Alex was very sweet and was like, we wanted to cast someone who doesn't like know D&D in and out because we think it'll be, it's better to have not all the same.
I agree. I think it's awesome, actually. I love John Paul said, Lily got stuck in the knick-knack again. That's what happened.
That's where I went.
That's where you went. That was pretty fun. So the really fun thing about the fact that you guys are doing D&D is the fact that, again, like you're actors, right? So it makes the storytelling so incredible. And I know, like I talked with Jessica about this and such on this show, but I love how you guys all feed off of each other and continue even what Jeff has set in place, but you guys just continue it even more. And the dialogue you have between each other is just fantastic. I mean, and like, again, like the songs that you've come up with literally on the fly, right? I mean, do you like have some sort of plan for those when you're ahead of time, or do you
Sometimes.
Okay, you do.
Yeah, I used to write them all. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think I wrote one in the first episode, but in the thing, because I kept seeing people die in front of me, and I was like, well, I gotta write a song for this. And also, this is where people laugh at me, because this is where I didn't know that you didn't have to write songs if you're a bard. I was like, I just assumed that, I'm a bard and I sing, so I have to sing.
Right.
Like, I thought that's what you had to do.
I love it.
But yeah, so I used to write them. I used to like always try and have one ready for a show based on what had happened. And now I found as the stories progressed, and sometimes I have just no idea what's going to happen. So I usually have like one available if I need to do like a song of rest or something like that. But then when we have big moments, I guess I try and think of the songs as like a bard is to like spread lore, right? To spread these stories. And so if there's like a big moment in our adventure, that would be the thing she would write the song about.
True.
That would be the story, or like what's the story that we're trying to like spread across the land.
Have you I haven't looked, but on the wiki, have you put all the songs there?
I haven't, but I think a lot of people
did?
They have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have a book of Lily songs. That would be awesome.
I know. I recently just actually, because I handwrite them into my little notebook. But I recently just like put them all in a Google Doc, so I have them all like typed out. And I should probably submit that to the Discord so they have it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So
I need to like record them. Make an album.
That would be amazing. You should absolutely do that. I'm sure you could do that and have it tied directly to the dungeon. That'd be pretty amazing. So
I know, to get Heather and Leah to do some instrumental music for me.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Oh my gosh, it'd be awesome. But beyond board games and D&D, you've been doing some video gaming on Caffeine.
Yeah.
Right? What have you been playing there?
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I played, whoa. Sorry, I just hit something. It was like all of a sudden my computer was playing a bunch of music.
Nice.
It was like very cool music, but I don't know where it was coming from. I've been playing Tomb Raider.
Oh, good.
I played the first one, which I just think is called Tomb Raider.
Just Tomb Raider, right?
The new Tomb Raider.
The new Tomb Raider, yeah.
And then I'm now playing Rise of Tomb Raider.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It's funny because I got it and I was like, oh, this will be like a fun adventure game, and it's way more violent than I thought it was going to be. Like graphic violent.
Yep. And there's a ton of puzzles too.
Tons.
Yeah.
But that is where I love streaming it, because I have only been able to probably solve those puzzles because of the chat.
Yeah, that helps for sure.
It's so nice having people that I can be like, what am I missing?
That's awesome.
Yeah, 'cause some of them are hard.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, and even from way back, the original Tomb Raider that I played, it's still same thing. It was very much super puzzly, and it was more than just a jump and run and jump kind of game, you know. So, which is what I love.
I haven't played a lot of games on PC. I used to play like Xbox.
Yes.
Way back, and then I don't honestly play much video game wise.
Yeah.
But it took me a second, but now I feel like I'm getting it, but it took me a second to get the hand control down.
Yep.
That was like learning curve for me.
A little bit, going from controller to keyboard. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I went from keyboard to controller. However, that's not true because I had like Atari 2600. I had controllers and keyboard pretty much all my life. So,
but those are less like precision. I feel
true,
like
true.
Like joysticks on a controller is very different than using the mouse.
Yeah.
I think
it's very, very different actually. Actually, I've been enjoying a lot of playing on the Switch because there's a lot of board games on the Switch now.
Oh,
and
I gotta get a Switch.
You do.
I feel like everybody's loving them.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I love the fact that one of my all-time favorite games, Diablo 3, is on the. I can play on a plane. I mean, that was the big reason I bought it. I can play Diablo on a plane.
That's amazing. I know. I need to get a Switch.
Yes, you do, and then we can play even more board games that way.
Yeah, I love it.
It'd be so fun.
I love that.
How do you feel about the different interactions, like with Lily and Civ, in the show? Because they might be an item, perhaps.
Maybe. We're really, maybe. It's so funny, actually, because I was just thinking about this again. We kind of talked about it at the beginning of this side quest that has now turned into a very long side quest.
Yeah.
And Civ said it last night, is like, we don't know if we're going to remember this when we get back to our standard adventure.
Exactly.
So that's like a crazy thing too. All the love stuff happening, and then if it's all just going to be
erased,
a dream. Yeah. It's really fun. When it first started, I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know how to do like a D&D romance. Like, what's this again, with my like anxiety of like doing things right.
Of course.
Yeah. I have like, that is definitely I don't know if that's a weakness. Maybe you could call it a weakness, where I want to do things right, and it's often there's not a right way to do things in a lot of things in life. And Jeff finally, he was like, I just want you to know, like, D&D romances aren't super common, and like this isn't like something that like people have a lot of expectations for, and he made me feel a lot better about like
good.
Not that anyone was making me feel bad about it.
Sure, sure.
Myself putting like pressure on, like, I don't know how to do this.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it adds a lot to the story and the depth of the characters too, right? I mean,
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, and as far as the depth of the characters go, how much do you like behind the scenes or just at home do you work on the depth of Lily and adding more elements to her?
It kind of. Some weeks I go between shows and I try not to think about it too much, because I think there's also like I don't like feeling like I've overplanned things, because I think that's a danger in
yes,
in role playing. It really was something that I found when I would get in my head and doing improv. When I was doing improv shows, often it was because I was like thinking about the shows ahead of time and being like, oh, like just in your head, like there's no other way to say it, just in my head, and then you're not in the moment. And
right.
I don't know what Jared's gonna do. I don't know what anyone's gonna do, so I have to kind of go in there open-hearted. But there are things I can, like, writing the songs is really helpful for me, and that's probably like the biggest character development I do out of it, because it's kind of how it's almost like a diary for Lily, like how she processes like what happened. So I guess to answer your question, how much it varies episode to episode or moment to moment, but I try not to over prep.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
I love that, because then it's all on the fly and it's actually genuine. Then I like that a lot. So
I find that I feel like I'm better if I don't over prep, because I'm listening harder and I'm more thoughtful with my reactions and stuff like that.
Right. What are your top 3 or 5 moments in the dungeon run so far?
That's such a hard question.
I know, because I probably have like 10 or 20 or 30.
So many.
There's so many good ones.
Nuts, because we've had so many episodes now.
Yeah, 54, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So crazy.
I love it.
Because there's also like story moments, but then like moments for me as a player that were like, the first episode was really exciting to me, because it was all real and felt it was all coming together, and it all came together very fast for us on like the actors side of it. I'm sure there was much more production side of it, but we didn't know each other, so that was like a really fun moment. And then the first model, so these are like actor moments. When the first like big model came out, that was really exciting.
I love that too, because one of my favorite moments was when I was on set and I got to see the underwater.
What episode were you on set for again?
When the underwater scene came out. I was there that night, and what was so fun was that I was over there and Jeff came over and he goes, "You're not supposed to be seeing this." I said, "I know." And he's like, "You're seeing this before everybody else does." I said, "That's awesome."
You were behind the scenes.
I was.
That model is so crazy.
It's so cool.
The little tentacles that move.
Yeah. So that's been probably my favorite of the sets.
That's it. Oh yeah, that set is nuts.
Yeah, and
the sets are so good.
So cool, right? But the new war room, or whatever you guys have, the virtual one, is pretty decent though. I mean, there's a lot of neat fun effects and things that happen, right?
They've done such a good job with that, and the fact that there's people like running it, like it's a VR room. That's amazing. Yeah. I really liked the Lodestar too.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was the Fallen Lodestar.
The Fallen one, right?
Which was kind of our big first set reveal.
Yep.
And then there was the Lodestar in the sky.
In the sky.
That we went to, and that one was like, another big moment. And then as character moments, actually, really that moment where Lily almost died in that when she fell.
Early on, yeah, that was crazy.
Early on, I feel like that's a big moment that I think Katie liked, because it felt like the first time all of our stakes got like raised. Everything had kind of been heightened because Jared had almost died in like the previous episode.
I know, yeah.
He had like been rolling like
terrible.
Yeah.
And he ended up giving the dice away because I loved it so good.
Yeah, the cursed dice. So that transitioning into like falling and it feeling like, oh, this is dangerous. That danger moment was collectively a very important moment for me.
Yeah, I agree. It was awesome. So, just because we had some people join chat, give everybody, give like the 30-second pitch. What is the Dungeon Run?
Oh, the Dungeon Run is a live role-playing adventure. It's following a merry band of misfits who met up on a simple dungeon run and have been adventuring together ever since, trying to restore peace.
True.
To Ein. Trying to restore balance to a world that seems to have fallen into disarray.
Yeah.
I would say that's my elevator pitch.
I love it. That's well said, for sure. And the cool thing is that for those who haven't seen it yet, all the episodes are up on YouTube as well. And then the other cool thing that we haven't talked about is that the show is interactive. So you can actually interact with what is happening live on Caffeine if you tune in, giving advantage and disadvantage to folks. If for those who don't know, in D&D you roll 2 dice for advantage and you pick the better value and so forth. So the fact that people can actually contribute and do that and alter the outcomes, and then when you're in the studio they actually can submit like amazing forces of good and evil, and those are really fun. Actually, I miss those.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I think also one of the giving things is really, amazing for us. It feels amazing. But also just being able to interact with the chat while it's happening. I think a lot of people get a lot out of that as well.
Yes, I would agree.
I know when I'm watching shows and I'm in a chat and watching it feels more fun. I don't know.
I agree. So my buddy Roy asks, what has been your most epic RPG moment?
Wow. Well, I've almost died twice.
Yep, that's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. Yep.
I got confessed my love. Civ confessed his love to me through a bard. I didn't know it was going to happen.
Yep.
So part of that was Lily reacting, and part of that was Katie being like, I feel like I'm in high school. We always talk about how it feels like high school. It feels like a high school romance.
It does. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Because I knew that I was like, I know Lily's not ready to like commit to this, and so I felt legitimately nervous to say, I don't know. It was so scary. That was a very big moment.
It was. It was really good, actually. And I didn't get to see it live. I actually was listening podcast when it happened because we did a hangout, just us privately.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, you didn't watch last night?" I'm like, "What? What happened?"
It was nuts.
It was so.
It was so good. It was like Amy and Jared wrote this beautiful song, and it was such a great moment. It was such a Civ, like
it was
such a gift giver, and he wants to like present these things with his flair.
Yeah, and Jared does such a good job with that. Oh,
he's
it's so good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's so talented. I love doing scenes with him. He's an incredible improviser.
Yes,
and actor.
Amazing. One of my favorite RPG. I've run a lot of games. I was a DM, and I had a new player, and he had the ability to transform into an eagle. And the guys were all going down into a tunnel, like a goblin kind of very intricate, very tight quarters. And he wanted to do this fly down the tunnel full speed. And then at the 90-degree turn, wanted to grab on with his talons and make that turn and continue. I said, you sure you want to try this? Because if you fail this roll, it's going to be really bad. No, I'm totally going to do it. And he failed the roll. And it was just so brutal.
Just failed so hard. Those are the best moments.
It was. I think he actually rolled a 1. So, yeah, it was pretty...
Epic failure.
It was an epic failure.
I think also turning into it when Lily got turned into a giant ape.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty fun. Absolutely.
And the RP of like being a giant ape and then coming back from being a giant ape and trying to explain the feelings of being a giant ape.
That was really good.
Yeah.
You did a really good job with that. That was so fun.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
I also, as far as RP moments, I love all the Uggo Lily interactions of like them trying to be on the same. They've come from such different worlds and like trying to become on the same page about things or like teach each other things. I don't know.
I agree. No, it's good.
Very fun.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have not watched Dungeon Run, you should really check it out. It's just so good.
Please check it out.
The storytelling, just the storytelling alone, even if you don't care about D&D, just the storytelling alone is worth watching the show. So
I think that's a big thing also about D&D. Like people hear the word D&D and they're like, I don't know anything about that. Mm-hmm. But like, it doesn't matter. It's just storytelling. It's improvised storytelling, and then there's this battle aspect of it that's cool. But it's a story. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's an adventure.
Yep. And if you can't catch it live, it's all on YouTube. You can go check it out. So.
And I would say I was surprised, but it makes sense. How many people in the Discord have said like, I've never played D&D, but I just really like this story or I like the show.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that haven't played D&D.
Oh yeah.
I think sometimes it can be intimidating if you feel like I've not played, I won't get it, or I don't belong in that community.
I like too the fact that it's fostered this whole like we as a family sit down and watch it together. That's totally happening. I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Like that's where I fan out on the fans.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, your whole family watches it together.
It's so cool, right?
Love it.
Yeah. How about so I mean Lily is a bard, right? So but do you have a favorite character class?
Well, I really love my bard. But I'm playing a rogue right now in a home game that's kind of fun.
That's cool.
And
I feel like a rogue would fit you as well. I think that would work well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Rogues are fun. Yeah. Rogues are powerful, too.
Yes.
I was like, I want to play a melee character because I feel like I always play spellcasters. I'm more comfortable with spellcasting, probably just because that's the main thing I've done, but a rogue is really fun. And they have so many cool abilities.
Yes. It's pretty amazing, actually, because rogues didn't used to be as amazing at all.
Yeah. So. I played Ranger on one of our side quests, the Gus character. ranger, and rangers also in 5e were not like they're really not balanced, but they did a errata for the ranger, and it's really good.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I really liked being a ranger too.
Yeah, that's definitely not a character I usually would move towards, but I've always been a barbarian guy. Always, I just want to be the guy jumping in the middle of the fight. That's just my play style.
Never played a barbarian.
I love it so much. So
I think I'm so not like I'm usually not like a jump in the fight player. I'm like the negotiator. So I should play one sometime. Just like
you should absolutely. Antonio asks, would you like to try DMing at some point?
Yeah, it's very intimidating to me. But I would like to try it.
I think you'd be great at it. Actually, it'd be really fun. If you want to do something offline, I'm in. Just let me know. I'm in.
Yeah, I'll let you know. It's gonna be a total disaster.
It'd be amazing. I actually did. Yeah. I had a friend who wanted to DM for the first time, but we did it with Tales from the Loop.
Cool.
So that was really fun, but it was his first time into it. And I tried to take him, I wanted to push him a little bit, right? So I tried to take the story in a direction he wasn't prepared for. That was a little rough, but it was still fun. Everybody still had fun, right? But it was just a really good experience for him too. So I think DMing, you should definitely get your feet wet with it because it's a lot of fun. It's a whole different thing. So
yeah, it feels very different. I do want to try it. I definitely want to try it.
It's so fun.
Do you prefer DMing or playing?
I prefer playing. I do love DMing, and even when I used to do it all the time, I would do 3D renders of the places people were going to see. So
that's cool.
I would do like the tavern or a cave, or it'd have a short animation somewhere. So it'd have throw it up on the big TV in the room, and I love doing that stuff. It was so fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I did all kinds of things like that. It was really cool. But yeah, I really did enjoy. I mean, I played like D&D and Gamma World and a bunch of different other ones. But D&D is still always just my favorite all the way. We did some of the superhero stuff too, and GURPS and things like that. So
what's the one that's based in Seattle?
Which?
It's like it's an RPG based. It's like I can't remember. I'll find it.
I'll find it. Send it to me.
I'll send it to you. I can't remember. I feel like it's based on like apocalyptic Seattle.
Okay. I know there's several apocalyptic games, RPGs. One of the ones I haven't played that I want to play is the Alien one, the Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an amazing system, and I want to play it so badly. It looks so cool. So.
Yeah, I haven't played. I really mainly just played standard D&D.
Yeah. Yep. GURPS, yeah, I loved GURPS so much. It was definitely one of the systems I really enjoyed, although it was very mathy at times. So, but we skipped over a lot of that because we're like, let's just play, just roll, just roll the dice. It was almost like 5e, a homebrew version of 5e at some point. Yeah, Shadowrun. That's it, Chris Taylor.
Shadowrun.
That's it. Yes, thank you.
I haven't played it.
Man, that was going to drive me crazy.
Seattle area, so
yeah, it's really good actually. I've only played it a couple times, but I mean, if you get a chance to check out the Altered Carbon one that Ivan just did, that system is really neat. I liked how it worked. It's just different enough, and got some really interesting things that you can do with the dice and such. Really fun. So you should definitely check that out.
He just came out with that other game too. That
Alice is the one you can play on your. It's just texting on your phone. There's some cards as well.
Yeah, really interesting.
I did a spotlight video for it for crowd surfing, and it was so fun. I love doing spotlights because they're like little movie trailers for board games. So I really love doing those. But that game looks really cool. And
the art is really pretty too.
Yeah, it's really neat. I really want to try, and I feel like it does have those cards and stuff, but I feel like you should be able to play it anywhere. Like I should be able to text you, and we should be able to play, across the country. So I feel like we should try to make that happen. So I'll see what I can do. It'd be really fun.
Do that.
Yeah.
Dear Ivan.
I'm gonna try to have Ivan on the show as well, so that should be fun.
Great.
Yeah, he said he would do one, so I gotta find a date for him, but.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you played Horrified.
I did.
Right, did you like Horrified?
I do like Horrified. I've played it a couple times.
It's
we
so
have Horrified.
Good. Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a really good co-op game.
Do you do you like co-ops versus competitive? What do you like better?
I tend to not. I actually tend to prefer the competitive ones.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes I shouldn't say I don't like them. I feel like it's very hard to do a co-op game where someone's not kind of like leading. You have to have a very balanced table of players.
Yes, you do.
As personality types, because it's all too often I find like there's an alpha.
Hey, you should do this, and I'll do this.
Yeah.
No.
If you do this, then I'll do this, and then like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, I'm not even playing. I'm just doing.
Yeah.
You know. So I like co-op games when there's kind of like a rule of like everyone's gonna play the way they want to play, and we're gonna try and like work together, but also like not overstep.
Right. Yeah,
but that's tricky.
The group that
Do you find that? Is that just me?
No. There's definitely groups that are like that, but the people that I generally play with for my like Tuesday, Thursday night groups that we had, they're really good about, we're going to play co-op. You do what you want to do. If you want a suggestion, let us know. We can kind of collaboratively talk about what might work best. But we turned into that. It turns into be like a boardroom meeting at some point where we're like, oh, what do you think? No, what if we did this? So it's an interesting balance. But yeah, if you get that player in there that's like, oh, do this so I can do this, that's just not as fun. I totally get it.
But I do say I like Horrified and I like Pandemic, which are both games that I did. I think those are both great cooperative games. Right. I think they can be really fun.
Yeah. Chris Taylor says, never play a co-op with Mark Streed. So,
Oh, Mark, are you like, our group is great because you're that player?
I'm probably that player, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
I can't imagine.
I don't think that's true. I actually love cooperative games. I just think, for me, what it is that it generates so much more conversation at the table, and everybody's engaged the whole time.
That's true.
Where in some competitive games that are heavier, right? You sit there and you wait your turn. You're like, okay. I prefer games where everybody's interacting the whole time. So that's why I
haven't played Twilight Imperium, but we posted many Twilight Imperium games at this house, and I always come home like at hour 8 or 7, and everyone is just silent.
Yes.
And like stressed out.
Yep.
Just like, okay, I'm gonna go. Hold on. I'm gonna move in 1 second. I'm gonna.
That's so true. I've been in those games.
Palpable. Yeah. But I eventually will play it. I just haven't committed a full day of my life to it yet.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I've probably.
Have you played it?
Oh yeah. Maybe once every couple years I play.
Is this a question I should no longer ask? Have you played it?
No, you should always ask. There's lots of.
Assume yes.
No, there's a lot of games I haven't played, but that one, I have friends who have it. I have it, and we generally. It was one of those things, at least for a while, we tried to do once a year, but it's more like every couple of years now. Because it's a full day commitment, right?
But didn't they change it? Isn't it updated?
It's updated. There's a new version, and it's an all day event. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Jake for a while was hosting like a monthly Twilight Imperium.
Wow, that's impressive. Game. That's impressive.
Because there were so many people that wanted to play.
Okay.
And because so many people were like, oh, I want to get in on this. And he was like, all right, I'm going to have to, like, balance this. Because
set up a schedule.
The balance that he's found is, like, not playing with everyone who's played for the first time. Like, to make it not go too long. If everyone's playing for the first time, it's so much longer. So like, trying to add in, like, one new person.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I like it, but it's not, I wouldn't put it in my top 10, even, because it's just.
What's your top 5? You didn't answer that
question. Oh, well. Okay, so definitely.
I'm saying quarantine top 5.
Quarantine top. Oh, quarantine top. That's different. So
right?
I've only been playing, to tell the truth, I've only been playing prototypes right now because of all the previews. So number 1, though, that I played recently would be the one that's coming out next week called The Night Cage. This is from Smirk and Dagger. And the thing about this game is that you wake up in the dark and you don't know what's going on. And it is a cooperative game, but this is not like a game where you can have folks, oh no, you do this, I'll do that. No, it doesn't really work that way. You wake up in the total dark and you have a candle. And every time you move, you can illuminate the paths that are in front of you, behind you, or whatever the tile shows. But once you move there, the pathways crumble away. So if you move back, it's going to be something different. And so the goal is that you all have to find the keys, and then you all have to find the exit and get out. So there's instances where you might have to hold the light in one place to keep people able to come to the exit and hold that spot. It's so good. I love it so much.
What's it called again? Night Cage?
The Night Cage. And so it goes on Kickstarter on Tuesday. I'm super excited about this game. Absolutely. I really liked Ascension Tactics that it recently played. And Dead Reckoning. Oh my gosh, this pirate game, or not pirate, it's really a merchant ship, but you can turn pirate, which is really fun.
I like anything pirate.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm into it.
And it's got a cube toss, so you drop all these cubes when you do battles. You take your cubes, you take your opponent's cubes, and you drop them in the merchant ship, and it all rolls out, and it will determine you need crowns to win the battle, or you might get exploding cubes, so to say, where you get to drop extra cubes in. Or you might do poorly in the battle, but you might gain cargo out of it. So there's all kinds of things that can happen, but I really like that a lot. It's really fun.
I think you would like Paladins, because Paladins has like a billion things going on at one time.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm pretty excited about that. This weekend I'm working.
Paladins is Architects, right?
Yes.
Same.
Yeah. Of that same.
Have you played Architects?
Yes, I've played Architects, but I haven't played the whole line of those.
So I really like Architects.
I do too.
Way more complicated than Architects.
I like Architects quite a bit, so it's really good. But
what would you say your top 5 then all time game, not quarantine
games? So definitely Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, like I said before. Definitely Zaya, Legends of Justice. Too Many Bones, absolutely. Okay. And I love, even though it's not out yet, Dice Throne was this battle game, but they turned it into an adventure game, which I did a preview for earlier, or I guess in 2019. But I'm so excited about it. It's definitely going to be in my top games because I love that game so much. It was so much fun. So,
Dice Throne is like the best game for Dice Tower too.
Right?
You just feel like your siblings.
It's so true. So there's those, and of course I really like some of the like Dead of Winter, some of my other favorites. Zombicide, some of those. There's just a whole bunch, and like Star Wars. A couple of those different games of Star Wars from like Imperial Assault and so forth. I've really enjoyed those. Definitely, there's some really good thematic choice, and I'm definitely a huge thematic gamer. But I do like abstracts as well. So like Elements, like I was telling you about, I really like that abstract game. And to some degree, Night Cage is an abstract game as well. So that's coming out next week. And then this weekend, I'm actually working on the card game for Steven's Universe. Based on the cartoon. Yeah, I'm doing that card game this weekend. So
that's fun. Do you find that you have like a game designer that you are like lean towards or really like a lot of their games appeal to you?
So I really like a lot of the stuff Eric Lang does for Simon and Emerson Matsuzi. I love his stuff. He does really good games. Those are probably two of my favorite designers in general. But there's just a lot of games that I love too that aren't games they've done. But if I was gonna go look for a specific designer-based game, it would be probably one of those two. I just really enjoy how they put everything together. And Emerson is just probably my favorite game designer. He's so incredibly talented, just amazing.
I feel like I'm not knowledgeable in like who's designed the games,
right?
Or
well, do you have any favorite?
Like Clank is published by someone that also published another one of my
Renegade.
Renegade has done a lot of games that I like.
Yeah.
I feel like they've done a ton of games.
Yes, they have. And they do a lot of like just really unique type of games as well. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of Renegade games that I've played and been like, oh, it's a Renegade game.
So would you say they're one of your favorite publishers then?
I would say so.
Yeah. Oh, Chris Taylor, good point. Red Raven games should be on that list. They're really beautiful. Those games, and they really play really well. You should check out some of those if you haven't, from Red Raven.
Okay.
Really good games. So
for a while, I was just remembering. I'm just thinking about all the games I haven't played in a long time now.
Yeah, right.
We were playing Castles of Burgundy. So
Yes.
much.
Love Castles of Burgundy. It's so good.
I love Castles of Burgundy. I want to like redesign the board.
I can understand that. Absolutely.
Because I think we were talking about, like, remember the first time we played, we were like, the numbers are like bigger than they need to be when they're not relevant, and like it's like to explain it to someone. I don't know. Yep. I love the game though. I love the game. I just find that there's like the board needs to be like redesigned.
Right. I fully agree with that. There's a lot of that. Play something like what is it? Becca just did a video for it. Can't think of the game now. Anyway, there was one she just did recently, and I'm like, that board needs to be totally redesigned. And
I wonder what it was.
I can't think of which one it was now. Anyway,
it's probably in my living room.
It's probably in your living room,
Jake
right?
writes all those scripts. So.
Yeah.
They're business partners.
It's really fun. But yeah, I mean, of all the games you played on Game the Game, what is your favorite game so far?
Well, Waterdeep was on there, and I love Waterdeep.
You love Waterdeep, right?
I love Waterdeep. But Lords and Ladies is really fun.
Yeah. It looked like you had a blast.
Silly. It's a very silly game.
Yeah, but it looked like you just had a ton of fun. So
yeah, but I mean, Horrified is also really fun.
Yeah,
I would say of those games that I played on there, probably Horrified and Lords of Waterdeep are the two like best games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm going to say like game quality.
Game quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Because Pandemic is really good.
Pandemic's really good. I like it a lot.
It's a classic.
It's like on the channel we have Z Garcia, and that's like his favorite game, and
it is really good.
It's really good. So
it's funny too because I played both those co-op games, and I'm generally not a co-op game person, but
those are really well done. So I mean, you really actually have to work together, or it just does not work out well. I actually like the Cthulhu version of Pandemic. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah,
I love the Elder Gods when they come out. They change up the game so dramatically.
Oh really?
It's so good.
We have the Legacy version, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. I played through the first Legacy one twice or 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. I loved it so much. It was really, really fun. But anyway, well, we're at the top of the hour. I can't believe it's already been an hour. What happened, right?
So fast.
All right, Katie. So tell folks where they can find you.
Oh, find me. I think I've made everything the Katie Michels. So
okay.
Twitter, Instagram. Those are my main social medias. And it's the Katie Michels, and Michels is spelled without an A.
Yeah. Right?
Michels.
Yep. And Dungeon Run is on?
Dungeon Run Wednesday nights on Caffeine TV at 6 p.m.
Yep.
Check it out there. And if all of them are on YouTube.
Yep.
If you want to get caught up, or just like you honestly could jump in now and you would probably be able to catch up very fast.
It's true. Jeff does a fantastic job with the recap up front. And
it's a really good recap.
I think that it needs a shout out because I've been using the podcast for a while, and the podcast is just as engaging as watching it. It's so good. So the visual.
Before we jumped on here, we were talking about morning walks.
Yes.
We both like to take.
Yep.
And the podcast is a great thing to take. Get out of your house, take a walk, listen to the podcast.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Katie. It was so fun to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was awesome. And folks, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you at the table. All right, folks. Good night.
Bye.